your boy Nick here and welcome back to NickTube. And welcome back to our Five Nights at Freddy's character concept series. So the character I've created for today's video is known as Wendor The Wendigo. So we'll go into this character's backstory, gameplay mechanics, and all that good stuff as well. But before I do any of that, do be sure to leave a like and subscribe to NickTube as it helps a lot and it's greatly appreciated. As always, I just want to state that everything I say in this video is not linked to the overall universe and lore of FNAF. This is just a character and story that I've created, so keep that in mind and enjoy the video. But alrighty everyone, with that all out of the way, let's get into the story of Wendor The Wendigo. So previously in our Five Nights at Freddy's character concept series, we've been looking into the characters from the creepy cryptid Pizzeria. This establishment is a special horror-themed restaurant based on the urban legend of cryptids. But what is a cryptid? Well, a cryptid is an animal or creature whose existence or survival is disputed or undisputed and has yet to be proven by modern science. A lot of these creatures come from legends, myth, and cultures shared down throughout the ages. There are many known cryptids all across the world, but the creepy cryptid Pizzeria only has the most famous and well-known creatures of all. So the characters we've met so far have been Barry Bigfoot and Marty Mothman. Both of these characters have frightened many of the guests here at the Pizzeria. They both have their own specific themed areas where they jump out and scare the guests. The Pizzeria has a ride that travels throughout a tunnel filled with scary cryptid characters. And although both Barry and Marty are great at scaring people, there will always be others who want more. Early on in the first few months of the Pizzeria, there were a number of customer complaints about the attractions. And the most common complaint was that the characters simply weren't scary enough. Sure, whenever they jump out at you, it definitely gives you a surprise. But there were some hardcore horror fans who wanted something that would truly scare them. So the manager of the Pizzeria agreed and promised to give them something truly horrifying. After researching many cryptids and mythological creatures, they finally settled on something that could work. So after a few weeks, the new animatronic was ready to be revealed. And this new character was named Wendle the Wendigo. Wendle was truly a fearsome looking animatronic. He's based on the mythological creature that is rooted in the spiritual traditions of the Algonquin speaking tribes of North America. Associated with winter, hunger, and starvation, the Wendigo is described as a tall, gaunt, pale monster that haunts the northern forests. They are known to possess supernatural speed, strength, and an insatiable hunger. Many depictions of the Wendigo usually showcase a creature having the skull of a deer as their head. Needless to say, Wendle was an instant hit. He wasn't your typical friendly-looking character. Everything about him was incredibly creepy. Most of the guests were horrified by the sight of him. But the hardcore horror fans couldn't get enough of Wendle the Wendigo. They couldn't wait till they arrived at his location known as the Wendigo Woods. They would all wait patiently for him to jump out and scare the living daylights out of them. Wendle became so popular amongst all the guests that multiple legends and rumours began to surface all around his design. The most popular rumour was that his head was actually a real deer skull. No one truly knows if it is a real skull, and the workers choose not to say anything in order to keep the legend alive. So it was safe to say that Wendor the Wendigo was quite effective when it came to being scary. But it wasn't only the guests who were afraid of Wendle. As time went on, the workers also began to fear this creepy animatronic. They couldn't really describe it, but something was very wrong with Wendle. No one wanted to be left alone with him, and those who were saw some creepy things happen. The strangest and most concerning thing of all was the messages from the repair worker. They called the manager multiple times, stating that they could no longer continue their job looking after the animatronic.
Hey, sorry, I know I said I'd be in today to give the characters their scheduled maintenance, but I just can't do it. Look, honestly, I don't mind taking care of Barry Bigfoot and all the others, but I just can't take care of Wendell anymore. I don't know what it is, but something is seriously messed up with him. He's always looking at me, no matter where I am or what I do. Bam, there he is. It's almost like he's alive, like he's aware I'm there. I don't know, man, things are getting kind of weird and I can't really handle this anymore. As long as he's still there, you're gonna have to find another repair guy.
After those messages, the repair worker never returned to the pizzeria. But it wasn't just him that found Wendell unnerving. The night guard also thought he was very creepy and didn't want to be anywhere near him. Night after night, Wendell kept making his way towards the office. And tonight he'll finally reach the entry door and get the night guard. There's no telling what this deranged animatronic wants with the night guard. But one thing's for sure, they aren't taking any chances when it comes to Wendell Wendigo. So now let's get to the gameplay segment of the video. As always, the gameplay is based on the classic FNAF formula of observation and management. So Wendell will start moving from around 12 to 1 AM. His starting position will always be in the Wendigo woods. Most times he'll appear at the right hand door. As soon as the player sees him, they'll need to shut it immediately. But sometimes Wendell can also approach the office from the main entrance. When this happens, the player needs to be extra careful. They'll need to take notice of what direction Wendell is facing. The player needs to quickly open and close the door that his face is pointing at. If they do this quick enough, then he'll quickly get distracted by the door's movement and go investigate. But if the player fails and opens and closes the wrong door, then he won't leave the room. The player needs to carefully follow all directions, because if they don't, then they'll be greeted with a classic FNAF jump scare. So I think that Wendell Wendigo would be a very interesting character to see in our roster of characters. The Wendigo as a cryptid and native legend is also interesting in itself. I think the presence of Wendell and his looks alone are enough to give any player the creeps. And if they want to get out of here alive, then they'll need to keep him at bay. Alrighty everyone, well that's all we have for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, please consider leaving a like, commenting and subscribing, as it helps a lot and it's greatly appreciated. As always, do be sure to let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of Wendell the Wendigo and what you'd like to see going forward. And as always, I just want to say a very big thank you to everyone who watched today's video. All the likes, comments and views are greatly appreciated, and I hope you're enjoying the show so far. But alrighty everyone, until the next FNAF character concept video, I'll catch you later, bye.